This video is sponsored by the fine folk over at SCD Keys. On this channel, we're always talking about saving money and getting great deals, and that's what you can do by picking up a $50 PlayStation Store card from SCD Keys. If you head over to their website, link is down below, and search for a $50 PlayStation Store card, you'll find it. Go ahead and add it to your card, and use our specialized promo code GC3 to save 3% on your order. That'll bring the cost of the card down to $46.64. You can check out and choose your method of payment. Your key will show up on your account, and boom, just like that, you got a $50 PSN card a little bit cheaper. Not only do they have great deals on PlayStation Store credit, they also have Windows 10 and other software heavily discounted, and you can get great deals on those as well. Again, check out the link to SCD Keys in the description box below. In today's video, we'll be taking a look at the massive update that has come to PlayStation Now. Yes, not too many of you were sold on the streaming service, but how about the ability to actually download the games directly onto your PlayStation 4 like you can do with Microsoft's Game Pass service? That option has arrived to PlayStation Now, making it so much more enticing. On top of that, YouTube user Mystic had uploaded a video going over PlayStation 4's firmware update 6.0 versus firmware 2.5 with the speed test, features, and game installs, and you'll notice that there's actually quite a bit of difference, so looks like all of that system stabilization updates had actually come into play. On top of that, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a Japanese RPG that a lot of gamers are excited for. It's going to be released soon, and the official reviews are out, so I wanted to take a look at that game's Metacritic score and how it's stacking up. And spoiler alert, it's doing quite well. While that's doing quite well, I've got some unfortunate news in the gaming realm for you guys. Capcom has shut down one of its studios, the Dead Rising studio to be exact. Dead Rising games really haven't been resonating with gamers in recent years, so this isn't all too much of a shocker. But whenever a studio closed down, it's unfortunate. We've also got an update on Red Dead Redemption 2, and a very exciting gameplay note has been officially revealed. And on top of that, we'll be rounding out the video by taking a look at Call of Duty Black Ops 4 and its post-launch content, and the fact that it has timed exclusivity on the PlayStation 4. More on that at the end of this video. First, let's go over the most exciting news. Yes, PlayStation Now has officially added the option to download PlayStation 2 and PlayStation 4 games. Now that's really exciting, but of course you cannot download PlayStation 3 games, which is a real killer to me. The PS3 library that PlayStation Now has amassed, that's really where the quality is at. You have games like Ni no Kuni 1, you have games like Infamous 1 and 2, there are a lot of great PS3 games there. But unfortunately, with the PlayStation 4 not being backwards compatible, all you're getting is the PS4 games as well as the PS2 on PS4 games. Now there are close to 200 PS4 games, so there are a lot of cool games like God of War 3 Remastered, Until Dawn, Bloodborne is on there, so there's definitely quality there. And the PS2 games, there's some nice offerings there as well. It's a lot fewer options. There's about 12 or 13 games, but Rogue Legacy is on there for you JRPG fans. That's a fantastic JRPG. Pricing is still a little bit of an issue, however, right now you can try a month of PlayStation Now for just $9.99. That's for new subscribers only. You can get a full year for $99.99, or you can get a 3-month pass for $29.99. That typically goes for $44.99. Typically, PlayStation Now is $19.99 a month, and that's quite a hefty price when you look at Game Pass's offerings, and I do think Game Pass is still the better service given the fact that it does include original Microsoft game releases, even though they are few and far between. Given the fact that you are getting a Forza Horizon 4, you're getting Crackdown 3 and games like that, and the fact that it's only $9.99 a month, you have quality 360 titles, you have quality Xbox One titles, I would still say that Game Pass is without a doubt a superior service. However, this is gigantic progress for PlayStation Now, a service that not a lot of people had bought into because of the fact it was streaming only. Not everyone has great internet, and even with somebody like myself that's on a wired internet connection that has a pretty decent internet connection from the get-go, I still notice latency issues, I still notice input lag. The technology just isn't there for the majority of us to have a serviceable experience, and even for me where it is kind of serviceable, it's definitely playable. It's not that ideal experience you want, and I could not find myself actually dropping $20 every month for that kind of an experience. It's just not worth it. But now the fact that you can download games, that definitely makes it a lot better. Hopefully at some point we can get PS3 game downloads. I don't know if that's going to be possible in the PS4's lifespan, but with the PlayStation 5, if they still want to make PlayStation Now a thing, and I'm sure they do because they invested a lot of money into acquiring Gaikai, we got to figure this out. We got to get PS3 games working, we got to get the entire library working, and then if you really want to create a subscription service that has a steady amount of subscribers, that will really work. Right now, this definitely a step in the right direction, but there's more work to be done. Speaking of work to be done, we know with every PlayStation 4 firmware update, we usually get an update that improves system performance. Well, the YouTube user Mystic actually took that literally, and he compared firmware 6.0 to firmware 2.5, and we'll leave a link to the video in the description box below. But the gains you see from 2.5 to 6.0 is actually pretty massive. So those system performance updates, while you haven't really noticed it because it wasn't one fell swoop and you didn't notice the entirety of the system being improved at once, it has gradually added up, and you'll see improvements in things like login speed, UI navigation, game installs, multitasking, share button and capture gallery, and more. So I think that was a really cool video that he did. Again, link to Mystic's video will be in the description box down below. And just cool to see that, quote, this system software update improves system performance isn't actually BS, and it does in fact improve system performance. How about that? Moving on from that, Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a JRPG that I'm personally very excited for. I played all 3 Valkyria Chronicles games. I played VC1, I played VC2, and I even played VC3, which wasn't even released stateside. However, there is a fan translation online, and in my opinion, VC3 is the best out of those games, so it's definitely unfortunate we never saw the light of day with that title. However, we will of course see the light of day with Valkyria Chronicles 4, and the reviews for the title are coming in, and it currently is sitting at an 86 on Metacritic, which is a very respectable score, especially with JRPGs. In my experience of seeing how different outlets review JRPGs, because that expectation isn't there for these games to be absolutely amazing, there's already this pre-built precedence where a more niche experience like this, it's very hard for them to get a 9 out of 10 or a 9.5 out of 10. That might be me off base a little bit, but that's just what I've noticed when different outlets review JRPGs. 86 is still a very positive score, and I want to take a look at what some are saying. Game Informer did in fact score the game a 9 out of 10, and they said, quote, though familiar mechanics and units remain, excellent new features and conveniences transform the way you see the battlefield. IGN gave the game an 8.7, saying Valkyria Chronicles 4 is the sequel I've been waiting for, returning to the roots of what made the first game so special. GameSpot gave the game an 8 out of 10, saying, quote, it stays so true to the franchise's first iteration that it'll feel as if almost no time has passed in a decade or so since the original first game came out. So what you'll notice about all of these reviews is it does look like Valkyria Chronicles 4 is a lot more of the same, and based on what I've seen from gameplay, based on the demo, yes, this is your typical Valkyria Chronicles formula. It doesn't revolutionize in any way, but it really didn't need to. Valkyria Chronicles was a game that definitely resonated on a gameplay side of things, and everybody that played it loved the game, so you don't really need to alter things all too much. We just want a quality story. We want that quality gameplay intact, and it looks like with Valkyria Chronicles 4, all of that is intact, and it's currently sitting at an 86 on Metacritic. Again, a very good score. From positivity with Valkyria Chronicles 4 to a little bit of negativity, unfortunately, Capcom has shut down Dead Rising studio Capcom Vancouver, and all of their projects have been cancelled. Here's what they said to GameSpot. Quote, Capcom is currently reviewing the allocation of its development resources that support the production of world-class content. To support this objective, new R&D facilities and annual hiring have been underway at the Osaka headquarters. In consideration of this process, as a result of reviewing titles in development at Capcom Vancouver, Capcom has decided to cancel the development projects at this studio and will concentrate development of major titles in Japan. As a part of this overall direction, the Capcom Vancouver studio will suspend operations effective today, so the current staff will be laid off and the office will be closed. We appreciate the hard work and contributions of all of the studio team members in creating unforgettable gameplay experiences for the Dead Rising series and Puzzle Fighter. This is always negative news. However, going into the gaming industry, you usually expect something a little volatile. Employees don't stay at one studio for too long. That's usually the case, unless you're a lead director or head of projects, but it's always unfortunate to see a studio shut down because that does mean lost jobs. Hopefully, everyone that was affected can land on their feet. And we did see that 343 Industries, the guys behind Halo, are hiring right now. There are so many other opportunities available in the gaming industry, so hopefully all of the talent affected can find their footing. Okay, so moving on from that depressing news, it was confirmed that Red Dead Redemption 2 is entirely playable in first person. So we saw that with Grand Theft Auto 5, and we'll be seeing it once again with Red Dead Redemption 2. I think this is a nice little addition. I would definitely love to see the Western world in first person, although the game probably was designed with third person in mind, just like every other Rockstar game, so first person might be a nice little diversion. I don't know how many people are going to play the entirety of the game in first person, but if you want that option, it will be present in RDR2. And lastly, just like every other Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will have some post-launch content, and it will have timed exclusivity on the PlayStation 4. However, unlike before, the timed exclusivity on the PlayStation 4 will only be a week. Back in the day on the 360, the timed exclusive was a lot worse. I believe it was at least 30 days, maybe it was 2 months, but it definitely wasn't a week, so this is kind of cool. I'm not a big fan of timed exclusivity in any way. It doesn't appeal to the consumer in any way. It's just that Call of Duty is in bed with Sony right now, so that's just kind of the world we're living in. And we do know that the initial plans for Black Ops 4's post-launch content includes new multiplayer maps as well as some updates to the Battle Royale mode in Blackout. Blackout has been received rather well, so yes, I know a lot of you guys aren't into Battle Royale, but as far as Black Ops 4 and its user base, it seems like a lot of them are pleased with Blackout. So that is going to conclude this video. Again, PlayStation now has added the downloading of PS4 and PS2 games. PS3 games are still available to stream, however, you cannot download them. That is unfortunate since, as I said, I think the quality of the PS Now library really lies in the PS3 games, so hopefully at some point they can remedy that. With Firmware Update 6.0, system performance has actually been improved compared to System Software 2.5. Again, link to the video on that will be in the description box down below. Very interesting video. Valkyria Chronicles 4 is being received rather well, currently sitting at an 86 on Metacritic, definitely a good score for that. Unfortunately, Capcom has shut down Capcom Vancouver. Red Dead Redemption 2 will be entirely playable in first person, and Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will of course have some post-launch content, and it will have a 1-week timed exclusivity on the PlayStation 4. That's gonna conclude this video. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.